Hello everyone, welcome to EU4 where we begin a new achievement run. The achievement is called the Philippine Tiger, where you take the nation of Cebu and you reform the historical borders of an empire which forces you to stretch into Indonesia, up through Burma and down the Indian coast. We'll take a look at it in just a second. But we are playing as Cebu. We are of the Hindu faith and we are a kingdom. So let's dive right into it. And let's go ahead and take a look at this achievement. Go all the way down to the P's. And here we go, Philippine Tiger. All this lovely territory that is highlighted in purple, we've got to take over. Stretches all the way. And so we start off as a one province minor and we have a substantial amount of work to do. So let's go ahead and get these opening moves underway, and then I'll talk about how we're going to try to take care of that. Alright, next thing's next. We don't want to pay our army. We need to set rivals. Ooh, now that's interesting. Let's actually leave that. Perfect. Yep, that's good. They don't hate our guts, which is quite odd, all things considered. But, you know, that is what it is. Okay. Oh, golly, we got a lot of stuff to do. We got merchants. Let's take care of those, and then we'll talk. So we want to collect from trade here, and then we also want to collect from trade here. And as for our diplomats, we need to get an alliance. Tondo is rivaled with these guys. It's well, that's not terrible. I want their land though, they're my next door neighbors. So we're gonna go ahead and secure the alliance with Tondo. We're going to secure a royal marriage, if I can find it. I'll eventually find it. Oh, Lord. Okay, here we go with Kutai. And then we want to start fabricating claims. And takes care of all of that. We do want to hire a military advisor. We'll take the discipline. Choose our faith, which we're going to take the trade efficiency national tax modifier. Take a look at our king. He's a 323. Not great, but so be it. And I think that does it for. We gotta do the state clicks. That does not do it. Let's seek some approval there, put you on a diet, and give you monopolies. We'll take the Diplo. We'll take the mill. We'll take the admin. Okay, so there you go. There's a quick 4.5 minutes of fun. So in order to do this, we have to expand. And because of the nature of this area and all these little miners, 2 and 1 province miners, everybody allies up. So you have to be very, very particular and very cautious when declaring war. At some point that won't become that big of an issue, but for the next 100 years or so, it's going to be a little what's the right word? I don't want to say challenging, but we have to be patient. Um, so there's that address. The next thing, we will be deb pushing the Renaissance when it spawns in our capital, and we will also take, in terms of ideas, where are ideas? We will be taking expansion and exploration to colonize, because if we're going to get to a point where we can start attacking these nations and really making a push, we need more land and we need a lot more of it. But that is forthcoming. So for the first 100 years or so, we will play primarily on speed 4, and once we have built our empire to a level that we like it, we'll slow it down a bit. So without further ado, let's begin. Let's unpause the game. There we go. Alright, so we have a 325. She's not a bad queen. 2 days. Alright, I would like an alliance with you. You're not going to accept one just yet. However, we'll eventually get one. Alright, we will take a royal marriage there. And let's see. You have allied up the one country. Who are you working on? Ooh. Yeah, you've done exactly what I didn't want you to do, but that's okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and build spy network here. We will have alliances that are in the works, so we'll just have to be patient. And really keep an eye on this, which we should be able to get pretty quickly. Sulu. Yeah, we won't take a royal marriage from them. That country gets on my ever-living last nerve. They're not very helpful. I've done a couple of test runs just to see exactly how things would play out to tweak this strategy. And this nation, the only thing they're good at is not getting taken over. So we're not going to take the marriage, though. I don't see an immense amount of great things that come from it. Primarily because they don't move their troops. They stay on that island. They don't really use their navy as well as they could. And that is all but downright challenging. Alright. We're getting close there. And we're getting close on having our first claim. And we can turn elsewhere. Let's go ahead and pop that claim. Call that guy. And then immediately begin fabricating on these guys. And we can only get one claim off of this nation right here. So we'll go ahead and do that. And pop off that claim. Okay, where are you? You are right there. How close are we? Getting closer. What would a war with you look like right now? Problematic. That's the correct answer there. Got a free diplomat. I almost want to hold that diplomat out until we can get that, but that's wasting that. So we're going to go ahead and basically turn on. God, I feel like I'm just so. Yeah, there we go. To improve relations with our allies. You've decided to claim my capital as your own. Well, that's not really what I wanted to hear. More claims fabricated. Man. Alright, couple more months. Couple more months. Alright, merchant fractures. So we can lose some mercantilism. Alright, well let's go take a look at that. Our economy. Where would I see? I used to forget about this. Where do I see my mercantilism? I'm assuming here. So we were at 10%. Let's actually take it. Puts it at 13%. Wonder if that updates. And this air is just the greatest piece of hot garbage I've ever seen. Wow. And I can't get rid of him. Oh, sweet Lord, have mercy. That child is terrible. We've got to get our prestige back to 0 to disinherit this awful, awful air. I mean, people, awful, horrible. Holy Toledo, that is one of the biggest piles of hot trash I've seen in a long time. Wow. Okay, prestige decay. In hindsight, that really makes that decision to take the mercantilism rather frustrating. Sweet Lord, have mercy. So we can revoke a claim. They can just hate our guts. Well, we're not going to do that. We're going to fire a claim there. You ready to be my ally? I think you are. Alright, let's recall you. Let's formally say we're friends. In the meantime, take a look at what that looks like. So they have done exactly what I expected them to do. They've allied up the people that I want them to ally up. So Bhutan is probably the right target. However, we're going to have to wait. I'm going to have to be patient. I'm going to have to remind myself somewhat perpetually. Are you really just going to remain idle? Yeah, no you're not. Good job. Yeah, I'm going to have to remind myself not to engage in a war until it is truly a lopsided affair. And that's just part of it. In this dev strategy that we will pursue, we'll stay current on military tech. And like I said, once the Renaissance spawns, we'll blast the development in the capital. And some of that's primarily because it's going to help us out. We have gems, and our economy will significantly get better, which will let us support a larger army, larger navy, all around. It's everything that you could have ever asked for. But we need to get our really kind of our 4 initial claims. And in a perfect world, we'll either have an opportunity to go to war and take some territory, or we will colonize and then take territory. There's most definitely a path that sometimes you can find winnable wars. Okay. You can find winnable wars and expand a little bit early on. In one of my test runs, I was able to do that relatively quickly. Let's see. Yep. And that's going to remain like that for the time being. So let's go ahead and start just gradually improving relations with people around here. Ming's not a bad one. Um, but eventually, once we colonize enough, we'll have enough territory to where these wars will be much more manageable. But in order to do that, we do have to get the Renaissance, and we have to spawn it. We have to be smart about it. So that's kind of the goal. Some of it's about being patient. And I'm sure that there's probably someone who has done this achievement and they've been rather lazy with the aggressiveness that they've gone after countries, and they've probably colonized all this stuff and then gone to war, which is one strategy that you can do as well. But it really makes for a period of time where it's not as intense. Alright, so we have improvements in naval technology. We will definitely take the Diplo, as we will need that Diplo. We really need to get rid of this air, who is nothing more than hot garbage. I mean, that's just bad. A 011. That's some of the worst that I've seen. Border friction. Who's gonna get mad at us now? Yep, let them get mad. I don't necessarily care one way or the other if they hate our guts or if they don't. But that's just my 2 cents. Alright, they really want that royal marriage. I have no desire to have a royal marriage with them. I want to be able to turn on them at a moment's notice. This really would be the perfect war. It would bring these 3 in, and if we can bring in Tondo and Kutai, and realistically them, even though they're not going to do anything, but if we can just bring in Tondo and Kutai, that's a victory for us. But it's pretty vital post embracement of the Renaissance, and we've developed our land quite a bit more. And that's what it centers around. Yeah, that's really what it centers around. So you gotta be patient. And you may ask why. The big reason isn't necessarily fighting battles. It's the naval zone of control. When you enter into a lopsided affair, most likely you're not going to have the Navy to allow free access. And so it really causes some problems. But that's just, in a nutshell, pretty much what I've learned. So, in keeping with most of my other series, I intend to keep these episodes around 20 minutes. The first one I'm going to let go for 30 or so, primarily because it allows me to advance a little longer, get a few things, but we'll shoot for around 20 minutes. Of course, sometimes they'll go over, sometimes they'll be a little under, and hopefully we can get our wonderful nation large enough to where we're not necessarily grasping for everything, because I mean we're in a pretty interesting position when you really make an assessment of it. Alright, so we now have an idle diplomat, which we'll go ahead and recall that guy. And just for kicks and giggles, what does this war look like? If we could call all of these in on a promise of war, it would be absolutely glorious. Sadly, that requires favors, and those favors are going to take years to build. Alright, so the Renaissance has popped our Chancellor. Is he really incorruptible? That is not a bad trait to have. Alright, so the Renaissance has popped, which means we are going to do a few things. First thing, we're going to turn on the development edict. Takes that down to 62. The next thing, I need to see if there's anything that I can do, and there's nothing that I can do to get their influence above 60%, because we actually would get a boost to dev cost, which helps out because this province is tropical. But having said that, we have more admin than we do Diplo, so we're going to go ahead and we don't want to do that. Burn a little bit, we'll watch it. Alright, so we'll burn another there. We'll do another 3 there. We'll burn that. Definitely burn that. And yep, alright, so we were able to get all the way up to 31%. And you're gonna see our money situation is going to get a lot better. Alright, so poor government policies. We lose 1 stab, or reform, we'll take the reform loss. I should point out that our first government reform that we start off with is actually plutocracy, and that's why we have 3 merchants, for better or for worse. Alright, so with the dev push that we did, we are now making substantially more money, and with us making substantially more money, we're going to substantially boost the number of troops that we have here. We're just going to go ahead and build the force limit. And let this rock along. At least make us look stronger. In reality, we're not that much stronger, which is okay. We're losing 2 sailors a month, and boom, just like that, we can actually take Miltech, which is beautiful. And yep, now we just hang back. And with these extra troops, we're still making over a ducat. We've got 2 more to train. Alright, let's recall that diplomat. And Ming already has rebels. Wow. Ooh, Korchin. Very fascinating. Alright, so who is Jaunpur? Shall we improve your opinion of us? I think we shall. I think that's the right move. 1 more to build. So they're all linked up. Still making $1.25 a month, which is not bad. 80 is the magic number. And realistically, we're going to let our Diplo lead there, because I just think that's a little better. We're naturally going to be short on Diplo, so we're going to probably tend to be a little more heavy on that. Alright, so still cannot disinherit because of our prestige problems. It'd be really nice to get a prestige event, although I don't think we are. We kind of passed up on that for more mercantilism. Go ahead and develop a little more. Gets us to 38%. But the net gain, almost 0.2 ducats, so not bad either. Alright, looks like we've got another idle diplomat. Lazy diplomat, as some say. Jaunpur. I mean, Jaunpur is probably going to be the natural one there. I mean, we might as well go ahead and improve relations with Delhi in the event that they emerge as a strong power in India. But by and large, I want to try to stay away from most of these others. Although Dai Viet, I don't think they're part of it. I don't think, and I'm almost positive. Do we have to take anything from Khmer? Yeah, we do. So in this area, if Ming doesn't implode, they wouldn't be a bad ally. Dai Viet's not a terrible one either, but Khmer, Ayutthaya, Pegu, Ava, Bengal. I mean, we're going to be eating territory from all these people, so I don't want to say that it's fruitless, but in many ways it is fruitless. Alright, I'm just curious, because I love to check this. Yep, nope. Alright, what about you? 4 favors. You, 3 favors. Stupid you, 4 favors. Worst nation in the world. Oh, well, we will take the inflation. 2 of a kind. Alright, so... Well, wow. That's even better. Gain that free mill power. Okay, I can live with that. Let's go ahead and pop that. And in 2 months, I think 2 months, nope, next month, we will hit that one too. Alright, so we've got it up to 46, almost 47%. So the truth of the matter is we're halfway there with our clicks. Our economy is strong, all things considered. I mean, like, let's be honest, this is a 24 developed island paradise in the middle of the Philippines. The year's 1452. I mean, does it get any better? I personally don't think it does. I mean, the only way it gets better is if we win, but that's neither here nor there. Hopefully we'll be there. Decline of the merchant class is okay. Your influence falls. Well, that is just an absolute crying shame. Merchant classes. But we're making 1.5 ducats. 91's our next benchmark, so we continue to hang out, and we're going to have a lazy diplomat just so I can monitor this. Even though that's kind of fruitless in and of itself. They want a royal marriage. I humbly decline. How old's our king? How old's our queen? Gotta get rid of that heir. God, we gotta get rid of them something fierce. Because that heir is terrible. Hot garbage. Just absolutely hot garbage. Not a fan. But we can make another dev click, which puts us at over 50. Still want to chase that mill tech. How are we doing? Are we? No, we're still losing sailors. Losing the sailors. No more sailors. That is quite the shame. Alright, so we have maxed out relations with Jean Per. We'll call that guy. Who is our next target to do something with? It's Terra Incognito. You look like a good one. We don't have to take any land off of you in the future. And I believe we can do that. Almost 55%. There we go. We're making money. And that'll come in handy too, especially because we'll eventually get to a point where we can, I mean, without we'll either be able to support extra advisors, which helps, or we'll be able to support multiple colonies. But we are at time, so I'm going to go ahead and pause it up, make a cut. As always, I hope you enjoyed it. I know that I did. I will see y'all next time. Feel free to hit that like or subscribe button. Thank you for all of the new subscribers recently that tuned in to see us create the darkest timeline for Britain, but the greatest timeline for Denmark in that achievement run. I do appreciate it. But anywho, I'm going to go ahead and run. Y'all be good. I'll catch you next time.